Hi everybody, it's Cookie Lou in Arizona. It's been a while since I got an opportunity to make a video. Been a little MIA and so sorry I haven't been able to comment on any of your recent videos all week. I haven't been able to watch them because I was in the hospital. So I just wanted to come on here and give you an update on what's happened, where I've been, and try not to make a long story out of it, but Saturday afternoon around, I don't know, 3 o'clock, I was sitting here watching YouTube videos and I got a very bad pain in my lower abdomen. And it was pretty sharp and I figured, oh my God, getting a flu bug or something, and I'm running into the bathroom and I immediately got weak. Very, very weak, extremely weak. I said, oh my God, I'm going to faint on the floor. I'm going to faint on the floor. I had the chills. I had cold sweats. My heart was palpitating. My breathing was labored. And I just had these terrible spasms. And I just finished in the bathroom. And I got up and when I felt I had the strength to get up, and I ran into the bed and just plopped in the bed. And I knocked out until the next day. All day I was still getting these spasms in my lower stomach, not as bad, but I was getting maybe 4 or 5 an hour. And they would, like contractions, they would spasm, and then after 5 or 6 seconds they would release and I would be okay again. So it was coming and going all day, and I just didn't know why I wasn't getting rid of the stomach ache. And I went into the bathroom again and saw a whole lot of blood. So I went, uh-oh, not a good sign. And I debated for about an hour whether I should go to the hospital or not, which, God bless, is only a block away from my house. And I was in the middle of making some butternut squash soup with green apples at the time. And I kind of get that soup finished and I put it in the fridge, and I says, I better go to the hospital. You don't mess with this kind of thing. So got in the car, drove to the ER, went in there, sat for about an hour, hour and a half. They finally got me into an ER room. I told them what was going on. They did a CAT scan, took about and they needed to get blood out of me. Of course, I was dehydrated, like a dry sponge, and they couldn't find anything in my, I don't know if you can still see, I have all these bruises because they couldn't get anything out of my hands or my arms. So they went into my, where am I? Into my neck, right here. Went into my neck with the IV needle, and it was hell. So here I am walking around Halloween like Frankenstein with this big thing hanging out of my neck. And they took the blood they needed. It took an hour. The labs came back great. Electrolytes were good. Everything was good. But they said the CT that they did had shown that I was swollen in my colon, that there was an area where that was swollen, that they would have to admit me. And I was really surprised that they said they wanted to admit me. They said, we're going to put you into a more comfortable area, I'll give you a private room because it's going to take a while for you to get a room upstairs. And they have a certain rotation system where ambulances and fire departments bring in patients. They have to get rooms first. And I am in Sun City, and there's a lot of people living here that are a lot older than me and are more critical. So even though I was sick enough to be admitted, I wasn't that sick. So I waited 15 hours total, got a room. My doctor came to see me. She told me she was going to have a GI person take a look at me, and Dr. Singh came in and he asked me a whole bunch of questions about Crohn's disease, colitis, anybody in my family have these things? I said, no. That never happened to me before. No bleeding like that before. No. Well, he says, sounds like it is colitis, and I think we should do a colonoscopy, either now, while you're in the hospital, or we could let you heal up for a couple of days, pump you full of antibiotics and fluids, and get you back on your feet, and then we can do it as an outpatient. And I says, no, let's do it now. strike while the oven's hot, you know, and see what's going on. I says, okay, great, liquid diet tonight, which I had no problem with because I'm used to it with, you know, prepping for weight loss surgery. We all know what a liquid diet's all about. And then I'm going to give you a prep to take and clean yourself out, and then we do colonoscopy tomorrow. So the colonoscopy went well, except the photographs of it were absolutely horrific. And he said my whole entire colon was inflamed. So he said you're going to have to stay here for a couple of days. We're going to have to give you a lot of antibiotics, continue with all the IVs in the neck. And he said it's going to heal, but it's considered ischemic colitis. It's not necessarily infection. The antibiotics is to prevent any infection that is to start, possibly can start. But he says apparently there was a restriction in your blood vessels. It could have been a clot. Most likely it was a clot that was thrown from somewhere, landed in your colon, better there than my head. And basically my colon had a stroke, is what it was. And he says if that isn't treated, you know, we have what do you say? There's what the terminology for it would be gut rot, and if it's not treated, you know, people can have their whole colon removed and colonoscopy bags are inserted, and it's not a good life. So he says, let's get this taken care of. So I was there until from Sunday afternoon, about 5:30 to about 4 o'clock on Thursday. They finally released me. The only problem was that my primary care physician was really concerned because years ago, well, I have an irregular heartbeat, which is something that I've had for years. In 2004, I went to a doctor and for a full cardiac workup, just to have it, you know, not that I had anything. I mean, I always had a little flip-flop going on up here, but no heart conditions to speak of. But I had the opportunity to have a full cardiac workup, and I wanted to take it. At the time, he said, you don't have heart disease, you don't have an enlarged heart, you have what they call a little AFib, a regular heartbeat. They put me on the monitor for a couple of days, a Holter monitor, and they said that your heart stops beating, you have sleep apnea, you have this and that, which I knew because of the weight. And he said, you got to lose weight, you know, you got to get in better shape, et cetera, et cetera. And I was on some baby aspirin for a while, and he put me on the metoprolol, which is a beta blocker, mild, 25 milligrams twice a day. When I was going for VHG, I had another full exam, head to toe, including a full cardiac workup with this new doctor, Dr. Rawal. And Dr. Rawal said that, you know, my vessels were good, my arteries were good, heart rate is slow, but that seems to be a history for me. Nothing really to worry about. You're certainly okay enough to have the surgery in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I'm giving you a release to have the surgery. Your heart is good enough for that. So now all of a sudden, my primary care physician is saying, I really think, Lucille, that your heart threw off a clot that strangled your gut. My cardiologist is saying, well, you know what? I had the heart monitor on her for 4 days and I didn't see any AFib. Low heart rate, yes, anywhere from 39 to 48, which is really low, but no AFib. So I don't know if her heart did throw off a clot. Because my primary care physician wanted me to go on Coumadin, and I certainly don't want to start doing that at 66 years old. So now we're in the process of trying to figure out you know, where this clot came from, but truthfully, they all say it's almost impossible to find out why this happened. It's just something that happens to people. They rarely know what specifically causes it. They are kind of pushing that I do go on a blood thinner because wherever the clot came from or whatever happened to my blood vessels to cause them to constrict like that, blood thinner would probably be a recommendation. So none of them wanted to see me throw off any more clots where I could possibly have a brain stroke. So we're just going to go through some follow-up visits and They all wanted me to wait about a week for my colon to heal before they give me blood thinners, and my cardiologist wants to set me up on a Holter monitor again. And he wants me to come in for some more tests and review everything with me, because if they put me on blood thinners now, I could hemorrhage if anything goes wrong. So let's let everything heal up, let the swelling go down, and then we'll take it up from there. So I've lost time at work this week. I'm gonna lose it again next week because I can't go in. I still have bowel problems, you know, everything's very loose, and they sent me home in a little brief, which is code for diaper, because I didn't want to have any accidents while I was driving home. And so needless to say, that's where I've been, laying in a bed with a needle in my neck, having my vitals checked every 6 times a day, not getting a wink of sleep, and watching Hurricane Sandy blow apart New York City and New Jersey. And I was really concerned because I have family in New York and Queens, and I was concerned. But thank God they were all okay. Lost lights. My cousin needed to be evacuated, and she went to her mother's parents' house in Brooklyn, but with the baby and the husband. Husband was, Mike is a New York fireman, and he was out in the streets going berserk trying to fix whatever he could fix as a fireman. And so it was very rough for my family in New York and in Queens, Brooklyn, everywhere where there was flooding and wind and mess. That's where they were, where my family is. So needless to say, that's where I've been, in the hospital with a needle in my neck, full of black and blue marks, and I'm on the mend. So anyway, just want to give you an update on where I've been. And I did ask the doctors if this possibly could have happened from my VHG surgery, and they all said no. That was 8 months ago. That has nothing to do with it. However, I am concerned that my slow weight loss could be from my slow heart rate. And, you know, I got a little upset because I said I've been really pumping it up quite a few notches. I've been going to the rec center, and I've been walking the track and getting on the machines, and I've been doing weights and treadmills. And I did notice that my heart rate went up to the 80, 82 when I was really, you know, on that bike, you know, and I was really swimming and walking in the walking pool and swimming laps, and I was really knocking it up. I was feeling so good, you know. My knees were hurting, yeah, but, you know, I was plugging through it all, and then my colon has a stroke. I thought I was doing everything that I could to be as healthy as possible, and my colon has a stroke. And another upsetting part of that is that everything that I'm eating for diet right now, while I'm inflamed, I can't have. No dairy, no fiber, no whole fruits or vegetables, very soft meats, small meals. So I'm just worried about, if I don't take my fiber, my vegetables, and my fruit, I'm going to have constipation problems again, and I don't want to have to face that horrible situation. So anyway, enough said. That's where I've been. I just want to suggest that anyone out there that has belly pain or is showing any kind of bloody stool or blood in that area, in the toilet, clots, anything like that, get to the ER. Don't say, oh, it's nothing, it might be a bug, it'll go away, because it's a very serious thing. So if you ever have any kind of situations like that, especially as a weight loss patient, any pain in the belly or signs of blood, get to the ER right away. It's very important. Okay, everyone, that's where I've been. I've missed you. I'll try to catch up on all your videos and comment on them. Love, hugs, and kisses from Auntie Lou. I've missed you. Okay, bye-bye.